Hey everyone, it's Bobby, and I am back with my next Craftology project completed. This is a little box. It's a gift box of sorts. It's really cute, so easy to make, and I have one of the little cut-aparts here underneath the ribbon, so it looks like a little present. And you can always put a photo or a journal on the back of it. And then I just decorated the top with some of the design papers. I had a little button and some, anyway, I'm a little lost for words here today. I decorated the top. I had this glittery stuff in my stash. It actually came in one of my mystery boxes, and I have never used it before. So I just took my finger and dabbed that around the edges just to give it some sparkle. Baker's twine, that's what I was trying to say. Baker's twine. I made a little bow. So when you take, I can show you the sides is yellow, and the back is just the striped paper. And my little cut apart wants to come out. When you take the lid off, the box opens out like this. And on the first page I have a double slanted pocket, and I used the velvet rickrack that was in the kit, and I put a couple little photo mats in there using some of the stickers for embellishments. These are from the sticker sheet as well. And then I made a little tag in this small pocket, and I put the little cake embellishment that was in your kit with some baker's twine. Have some more of the stickers here. When you flip it over, this one flaps up, and you have room for 4 more places here. And this is from the ephemera, and then these are stickers. And I back this one on cardstock so that you can slide your photos underneath. On this one, this is a pocket page, and I put a acetate window in here, and I have a little pull tab. That's one of the cut aparts. I had to cut it down to make it fit, but it works in there perfectly. And you can put a photo in there if you wish instead of the cut apart. There we go. Then in the pocket I have a large tag, room for a photo mat, more photos or journaling, and there's room in here. You can get more than just the one tag. And when you flip it over, we have a large acetate pocket, and I just put some of the cut aparts in there. They work really well for great photo mats or journaling. And on this side, this little banner flips up. You have room for a photo here, and it's loose underneath. And this flips down, and you have room for 2 photos here and a larger one up here. Here's some little stickers over here, little confetti sort of things. Let me see if I'm still in frame. Let me move this out of the way so I can move it over some more. Got my glue in the way. Oops. And on this one, this is a double pocket, a larger pocket, and then a small one here. And I put one of the larger cut aparts behind here, and then 3 of the little ones in here. These cut aparts are so cute. In this one I tried to use as many as I could. And then in this pocket I have 2 little cut aparts. And this opens out. After I put that in, it does. Have 2 photo mats here, all smaller sizes. One here, and this is just a little punch I had in my stash, and I put a piece of red behind where I punched it out. This is from the sticker sheet. Then it flips over. We have a pocket here with a cut apart. I had to trim it down so that it would fit, but it works perfectly in here. And then this flaps out. This time I have blue under there, and I have a cut apart with, this is a cut apart, and these are from the ephemera collection. So lots of opportunities, and I used the ribbon to cover my gussets here. I thought that looked really cute. It kind of blends with all the grays. And then inside the back of the box I glued down the banner, and then I have a lot of the cut aparts in here. They're just so adorable. And you can use these for photo mat or journaling, either one on the back. Just add your white, like I did on this one, and it works perfectly. So that is my project. It was so fun to make. This paper is just so adorable. So to close it up, you just put this side in, and then tuck this one in, and you have your little gift box. And that's it. Oh, and there is a tutorial following this walkthrough, and in the tutorial you will see that I made this little birthday cake, and I loved it. It turned out so cute, and my original thought was I would use it on the top of the box, but it is too tall. So I will be using this on another project because it turned out so cute. It looks like a real little 2-layer cake, and I put 2 candles in it because Wyatt will be 2. So I'll think of something for that, but I used some of the little sparkly things in this bottle of buttons to decorate the top of the cake. As you might be able to see it on there, I'm not sure. Alright, that's it for this walkthrough and tutorial. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. Okay, to build this box, the first piece we have is, I believe it's 9. Yes, 9 by 12. And this is the bottom of the box, and you're going to score on all 4 sides at a 1/2 inch and 2 inches. I had to go ahead and score mine to make sure what I wanted to do was going to actually work, and I really do like it. So we're going to score this, each of the 4 sides, at 1/2 and 2. Then you're going to turn it again, repeat 1/2 and 2, and you're going to go all the way around like that. Then when you have all of those scored, you're going to have in each corner where these 2 lines cross, you want to cut that little square out and then angle each of the pieces, each of the edges just a little bit. Then once you've done that, match your score line here across, fold it over, and then bring this side over to meet it and burnish it down really well. And then you'll move all the way around your box, doing the same thing, so that you'll get a nice corner. This one can be burnished a little bit better. Go all the way around. So this is going to be the bottom of the box, and then we're going to roll these under and glue them down. But before we do that, we're going to take just a little snip out of here so that we don't have bulk when we fold these under, because we're going to add design paper in there anyway, so it's not going to show. Just pull those out and do that all the way around. Just a little bit. Doesn't take much. Okay, we'll do that all the way around, and I'll finish that off camera. I want to show you the lid. The lid is done the same way, basically, just like a box. I scored mine wrong, so ignore these other inside lines. I'm going to give you the correct measurements. This piece is I think 10 3/4. Let me measure it. It looks like 10 5/8. 10 5/8 by I think I've got it written down, but I don't have that part of my program pulled up on the computer. By 7 5/8. So 10 5/8 by 7 5/8. And we're going to score all 4 sides, just like we did the bottom, but different measurements, but we're going to score all 4 sides the same. We're going to score at a 1/2 and 1 1/4. 1/2, 1 1/4. We're going to turn it 1/2, 1 1/4, all the way around. Then when you get that done, we're going to put it so that it's long ways to you, and we're going to cut straight up on this 1¼ line. We're going to angle this one. We're going to cut this off and leave a little tab. So once you cut it out, what I like to do is make a tab this way, this way, this way, and this way. So if you have both your tabs going this way or this way, it leaves, and it seems like one side wants to bow when you do it that way. So I cut it so that I have a tab going down, over, up, and over. And you can do it however you want to. But just leave yourself a little tab on each of these corners. Then we're going to turn this under, and we will glue it. And we'll put that down. That way we can wrap these over the tabs. And this one goes in here. And once they're all glued down, and we pinch this together, we're going to have a box and a lid with no magnets. See if I can do it without getting my glue on it yet, because I've got all these loose edges. But it will make a nice little box. And we're going to have room in there to decorate, because I want to use ribbon. I'm going to put ribbon on it so it looks like a gift wrap box. And then our pages will be built off this bottom piece, not on the sides, because I don't want the weight of the pages to pull it on it. So that's what we're going to do. Now I do have a piece of lightweight chipboard cut for the inside of the lid and the inside of the bottom, just to lend a little extra support to it. But you can use medium weight or lightweight, whatever you happen to have. I just happen to have this handy, so that's what I cut. But you can use either one. Okay. So let me finish cutting these little corners out, or these little snippets. And I'll get my papers cut, and we'll be right back. Okay. I have burnished these edges just so that you can see. And when you do the corners, you're going to have to trim these in so that when they fold, you don't have all that extra bulk, because this is going to be tucked inside. And make sure when you're scoring that you're getting a straight edge all the way down, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to glue all of these in place. With the art glitter glue. Each one of these down nice and secure. And we will be putting design paper over these. Okay, get this little short edge. hate to take so much time doing all the gluing on mine, but then you got to stop and think there might be brand new people that are trying something like this for the first time, and they really want to see it done. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do it. Just makes the video last a little bit longer, but not too bad. Get all this pressed into place. It's not, maybe I'm not getting enough glue or enough pressure, I don't know which. There we go. Now we got it. And I just like the rolled edge on a box. I just think it gives it such a finished look that if you don't want the rolled edge, you can just eliminate that 1/2 inch first score line, and you would be able to cut your paper or your box, subtracting 1 inch from the width and the length. If you don't want the rolled edge, you could just go with the score here. Little ooze there. And last side. And the last corner. Okay, so when they fold together, they're going like this to make your finished box. Now, I have cut a piece of, like I showed you, the lightweight chipboard to go in here, and I covered it with the lightweight, or with the light blue Artisan. I just think the light blue and the gray look really cute together, really good. And this is going to be on the outside of the lid, so I think it just pulls it all together. We're not going to attach this yet because my base page is going to tuck into the back of this. So I want to put my design paper on the outside of this, and I'm just going to use the yellow. It works really good with that confetti. Let's put this on here. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the bottom of the box yet. I need to decide that before I start building my pages, because it'll be much easier to put the bottom on it while it's flat before I add the pages to it. wrong side. Now I inked the edges of this yellow because it had a white core, and I didn't want the white shining against the gray, but I inked it from the back side because I didn't want to get the black on the front edge. I didn't want it to look like it was dirty. I don't have this pulled down far enough. There. Better. And then one more piece over here. See, I just inked it from the back side here, and it took away the white edge without getting the black on the front. Okay. Let's set that aside and work on our lid. Okay, I have the light blue also for the inside of the lid, which is going to attach right here, and I will decorate the inside of the lid. I just don't know what I'm going to put on it just yet. See a little bit of score tape showing there. Okay, and I'm just going to glue this. I did attach the blue with the score tape. But I want time to get this where I want it. About right there. Now on the outside of the top, I'm going to put this confetti, but I am not going to ink it. Because it doesn't really need it, and I'm going to attach that right on the top. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now I have my strips of the same paper. I'm going to add those. 2 short ones. And one more. Okay, now we can glue these. I do want to trim this up though. I see where it's got a little overhang there. I want to get rid of that. That one's okay. And that one's okay. Okay, so now we can glue these to the inside. So we're going to make our corners by gluing our tabs. Get some clothespins out. Okay, glue this one. Oops, didn't mean to glue that. It flipped around on me. Okay, so make this corner. Okay, once you get your 4 corners nice and squared up, then we can roll these in and glue them down. So let's glue these down. And then our base is built, top and bottom both. Burnish it really good so it stays where you want it. Okay. I'm kind of getting in my way there. I know it's hard for you to see, but I've just glued the tab there. And I'm just going to fold it to the inside and burnish it down really good. And clean up any ooze. I will do the same thing to all 4 sides. I really like this new bone folder. I received it from one of the scrappers for Christmas, and I thought that was so nice. I kept intending to order one, and I just never did. And now I don't need to because I have one, and I really like it. It really puts an even pressure on your edges and makes them lay down really nice, and it doesn't leave any shiny slick spots on your paper. So I like that. So there's our lid, and here's our box bottom. So when you fold it up and fold these two in, there's our box. Isn't that cute? I really like that. Really, really like that. I'm hoping to have enough leeway, and I don't know if I will or not. I'll show you what my theory is, or my plan. What I want to do is wrap this around. Better let my glue dry before I do that. I want to wrap this around and tuck it under the edge before I put my paper under here, and then make a bow on the top. But I have another idea for the top too. I'm not sure if I want to use striped paper against the confetti or not. I might want to use a solid cover. Let me see what I think. She sent me some solids. Ribbon for this collection. Well, I don't know what I did with it, and I know there was others with it. It's here somewhere. I sort through all my mess. Well, I will find it, but I've probably got plenty of the blue and red left from other collections that I could use. Here's some of her red seam binding. I might like just plain red better. And it will be thinner. Well, I need to straighten it out. It's all wrinkly. I think I like the solid better, and it's thinner. That way I could wrap it this direction and this direction. I think, and I've got enough I can do the bottom too. And that would look, put a bow on the top and make it look like a, goodness gracious. Make it look like a wrapped gift. Let me put this on here. Alright, now for the inside of the bottom. We'll set this lid aside for now. And what I want to do, get lint in there. The first piece that goes inside is the 7 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at a half, I think, and 1 1/2. Yes, at a half and 1 1/2. And I am going to attach the 1/2 inch underneath this edge, so that when it goes in, it's like this. And this is still taller, so we've still got plenty of room inside. So, I'm going to attach the art glitter glue to this 1/2 inch. And I got it on my score line, and I don't want it there. Clean it off of the thumbnail. Now we will kind of ballpark it and get it as close to center as we can, and just shy of that score line. And that looks pretty good. And I want my first 2 base pages, one on each side, down before I put this bottom in place. And then the base page on the other side. Is this 1/2 inch. This one is 6 3/4 by 4. Let me see what it is. 6 3/4 by, yep, that's 6 3/4 by 4. I'm going to leave these attached, otherwise I'll forget where they go. 6 3/4 by 4, and it is scored at a 1/2 and 1. And I'm just going to put glue on this 1/2 inch here. And I'm going to pretty much center it the same as I did the other one. Oops. And I think I let it move. I did. Oh, I didn't know you were out here. I'm recording.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything.
Oh.
I was waiting.
Okay, there's our 2 base pages. And there's that one. What did you need?
I need to print out my TABC certification.
Okay. Sorry about all those interruptions. This has just been one of those days. Those things happen, I guess. So, next thing we want to do, now that we have these 2 base flaps attached, is to add this to the inside of the box. As centered as we can. So, I'm going to put, actually, let me pull this tip off of here because I want to make sure I get plenty of glue on here that this is going to stay where I want it. Whoops, I just knocked some on the floor. Hit it with my sleeve, I think. Yeah, Yes, I did. And I will get it in a minute. So, let me fold these in where I can see my edges. And I want to center it from top to bottom and side to side as best as I can. And I don't want it over my score. So that looks like that's gonna straighten it just a little bit. That looks better. Okay, now let me, that looks pretty good. Burnish that down. Okay. Now I want to turn it over and burnish it from underneath. Oops. Put my top on there. Make sure we got a good seal on there. We don't want anything coming up. And turn it back over. This will go in first. And there's other pages that go under there. And I'm knocking everything on the floor. Okay. Inside of this page, on the left side, we have one that is 7 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is scored at 1/2 and 1, and it is going to need glue on this underneath side, and I'm going to snip the edges just a tiny. And this is going to sit right up against the chipboard. I need to put my little metal tip back on too, so I don't get too much glue on there. And this is going to sit right here. And we're going to line it up top for bottom. And then on top of this we have a pocket. This one is, and I don't think I wrote it on the cardstock, it is on the cut list. Let me give you a measurement here. It is 5 1/4 by 6, and it's scored at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. I mitered the corners, and I did the punch there. And I want to trim this little nub out there. I don't need that. And we're going to glue that. It's going to sit right on top of this piece right here. And that'll give us a good pocket for some inserts or photos or journaling spots or whatever our little heart desires. Okay, now let's line this up with the bottom and the sides. Where my other little tool went, we'll use this one. And this is going to have a little frame that sits on the top of it. So I am just going to paper clip that for now, so I don't forget where it goes, because I tend to do those things. Then, on the back side of this large flap, this goes like this. On the back side of the large flap, we're going to have 2 going to go like this. And it's 2 pieces that measure 4.5 by 4 7/8. But I want to put my design paper on here before I attach those. So, another paper clip. And on the front of this, whoops, gotta reburnish this again. There we go. On the front of this, we're going to have a slanted pocket and a smaller one on the right hand side. And these measure, this one is 6 by 3 1/4, and I scored on the left side and the bottom at 1/2. I cut the corner out and mitered the top, and then I measured over 2 inches from the left hand side and 1 inch up from the bottom, and just cut from those 2 marks. So that is going to sit here. And then the second one is 2.5 by 2 1/4, and I measured over 1/2 inch from the top. Excuse me, I have the 1/2 inch score on the right hand side and the bottom, and from that score line I measured over 1/2 inch, and from the bottom I measured up 1 inch, and then cut for my tick marks, and that's going to sit right over this one. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to attach this little one first. And I want to trim some more out because it's overlapping, and I don't like them to overlap because it puts too much bulk in there. Okay, so let's glue these down. It's going to go right up to the edge and the bottom. Make sure it's lined up good. And then this one, and that's overlapping too. You can always go back and take more out if you need to. I'll snip off this one. And let's put some glue on these. Pretty soon we'll be ready to cut design papers. Okay, I'm going to put this inside that one and shove it all the way down to the bottom and match it up to the left hand side. So I said I was. There we go. It's not quite to the edge, darn it. You know what? Let me pull it out of there. I'm going to measure over because it's hitting on the bottom and it doesn't want to lay like I want it to. Where's my pencil? I don't see a pencil, but I'm gonna make a mark where that overlaps, and I'm just gonna barely tuck it up under the other one. I'm gonna cut it off there. So that will get rid of a lot of that bulk. Okay, paper cutter, where'd you go? Oh. Let me trim that off and I'll tell you how much I took off of it. Where's my mark? There it is. Actually, I don't want all of that off. I'm going to take it off at an angle. That mark there. I took it off at an angle because I didn't want to lose this. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, so I'll measure what I cut off here in just a second. Let me put this one down while I got my cap off the glue. It just wasn't laying nice enough, and I don't want to. You want to line it up with your score line over here. And down to the bottom as close as you can get it. Now, I'm not going to put any glue here yet because I want to slide design paper under it. So there's that. And there's this. And we've still got enough room to put a pocket or just loose things down under here. And then on this side, we have this little tuck spot. It's actually a double tuck spot like this, but I want to put my design paper on first, so we'll go over that after a while. But I do have this little piece is going to attach here, and this one measures 8 7/8 by 3 3/4, and it is scored at 1/2 and 5, and it is going to attach to the right of this score line here. And let me see, do I need to trim it? No, I don't. If it doesn't go all the way to the top and the bottom, then you don't have to miter, or you don't have to taper your corners. And this one doesn't. So we're just going to ballpark it as evenly as we can, close to the score line but not over. Maybe about 1/8 of an inch away from the score line, or a little less. So it's going to sit right there. And then I had this for here, but I'm not sure if I want to use that yet, so I'm going to leave that out for the moment. And then this one on the front of that one, it's going to have a little flap that is 4 1/4 by 3 3/8, which will sit down here, and we can add that. And I just rounded the corners with a We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder. And I'm going to just eyeball it here. It looks pretty good. That will go there. And then I have a flag that is going to be the stopper. And trim that off. But I don't want to put it, well, it's going to sit over close to the edge. We can attach it. We'll attach it from the, I'll attach it at the top, because we'll cover up where it's attached. And this is going to sit just inside where the want it right on the edge. There we go. Okay. Now, we may put a magnet there, I don't know. I don't foresee that we're going to need one. Okay, now back to this, where this goes. This is going to be a little narrow tuck spot, and then this little one is going to sit to the right hand side, where you can put smaller inserts, but I want to put my design paper down first. So that goes there. My idea on this was to attach it here, and this would be a little pocket, and it would open out like that. I think that would be cute. Okay, we can attach that still. I like it. Sometimes I have to rethink things. Okay, so just inside the score line, you can just eyeball it from top to bottom. And then I'll glue this little pocket down after we get our design paper on. Okay, so that is that, and that. We burnish that, and this goes over that. And then you've got enough clearance at the top and the bottom. Isn't that cute? I'm loving it. Alright, now I've got to cut some design papers, so I'll be back. Alright guys, I wanted to catch you up on what I've been doing so far. We made the box together, as you recall. I did add some ribbon to the top, and once I had all my side pieces on, I just wrapped the ribbon around, and I wanted it to put a bow in the corner, so I crisscrossed it up here instead of in the center. And I'm going to put a bow up here, and I have another idea for an embellishment, which I'll share with you later. But I just wrapped it under the edge here on each piece, and then I added a piece of this geometric. I thought it needed some more color in this lid, so I used that for all the color. And then when you take your lid off, of course the box opens out like this. And I've added my design paper. Let me make sure I'm where you can see what I've got. So, oh, it's upside down. Up. This is page 1, and this is that double pocket that we talked about. And I just added the same paper that I have on the lid with some yellow and blue. And of course I've still got to make all my embellishments and my inserts. But then on page 1 I added the candle paper. And I haven't put anything in here just yet. This is a photo space. And one of the cut-aparts, one of the ephemera, and I just put it on some gray cardstock. And it's loose so that you can put a picture under it. Actually, I need to put some more glue along the bottom. Then on this page, this is the one with the pocket. Right here. Now let me show you. This is the pocket. All the way down. And I cut this frame. And this is the piece that is... I don't have it written on it. Once I cut it out, my measurements are not there anymore. This one is 5 by 3 3/4, and I scored 3 sides and a half. I mitered my corners here and tapered the top, and then I measured in a 1/2 inch with this edge folded under. I measured in a 1/2 inch all the way around, and I just cut it out with a craft knife. And if you use the Tim Holtz ruler, makes it really easy because this second line is a 1/2 inch, and you can lay that right on your edge and draw your straight line and then go back and cut it out. And then I cut a piece of acetate to go inside, and I'll just use the let me see, the 1/8 inch, I think. 1/8 inch score tape to attach it down. And I'll just attach that to the acetate and put it inside. And then I cut some little red strips, which I'll add. And this will attach right here. So that will be a window. And I wanted to show you that before I actually put it down. Then on the back side, what am I getting caught here? Oh, I see what it is. On the back side, I made another acetate pocket. And this one, I just cut the acetate at... The acetate is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. About 2 5/8. So 2 5/8 by 5 1/4. And I cut 1 inch strips of the orange, and I just scored it in half at 1/2, and then glued it down and attached the orange to the page. And I did notch it with the envelope board. You can see right here there's a notch. And that'll be a place for more embellishments or inserts. And then another one of the little stickers on there. Then the page on the back side, let me move this out of my way. And this little page has this flap up, this flaps down. You've got more photo spaces here. And I just used scraps of paper to fill it in. And then this one I wanted to show you. I just used the polka dot paper. And I made a little pocket that is, I think it's on your cut list, but just in case it's not, the pocket is 1 inch, and then I had actually 1 1/2 by 6, and then I scored 3 sides so that I could make a little pocket. And then this one is 4 by 1 1/4, and I just used scraps again on there. And this one's going to tuck right inside here, and that way you'll have multiple colors and multiple places to put your... Actually, I can go ahead and glue this down. I'm not going to glue this side. I just folded it down because I like the rolled edge. But I'm going to glue it right there and a little bit right there. so that you can slide it right down up under there. And I just thought it would look cute to have the short pocket there. So that is that. And then you'll be able to put things here and here. And this is a little tuck spot right here. We've still got plenty of photo mats and inserts to make. And this opens this way, and then it opens out this way and this way. And on these, I had this little punch that punches out a star, and I just punched the star out of the white and put a little piece of the red cardstock behind it. And then this turns over this way. And these I actually punched out of the cardstock. This one I put the blue behind it again. And this one I used an old Martha Stewart punch. And I'm going to put some photo mats behind here. So that is what I've got on the inside. I have nothing on it yet. I'll let you know as soon as I decide what I want to do with that. But I did cut the trim pieces for this inside edge. And I'm going to use the blue polka dot all the way around. And then I cut some little squares of different colors to put in these little corners. And what I did was I cut them at 1 1/4 square, and then I think it's 1 1/4. Let me double check and make sure. I don't want to tell you wrong. Yes, 1 1/4. And then I just cut through it diagonally from corner to corner. And that way you've got your little corner pieces. And I'm not going to put anything on the back side of these, because when you fold it up, you're not going to see it on this side, and I'm afraid it'll create too much bulk, so I'm not going to put it on there. So that is my game plan so far, and I will be back if I make any other decisions. I definitely want to show you the inserts and everything and I make, so I will be back for that, and then we'll finish up the outside of this box lid. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I want to share with you what I am doing here. I'm trying to make a little birthday cake. I know, I have some weird ideas sometimes. But what I've done is I bought these little packages of clay, and it's called Fimo. It's a soft, it says it has a leather type effect to it. I've got Mod Podge on me. But I want to make a 2-layer cake to sit on the lid of this box. So I took, that's a wet wipe, oops, some baker's spray and greased the inside of this lid, and this just came off of one of these containers that I keep my buttons in. And it is, let me tell you, it is about 1.5 inch circle. And I'm just going to press it into the clay. I couldn't get 2 out of 1 piece, and I couldn't find a smaller little thingy. And I'm just going to rock it around. I seem to get more pressure in one area. I guess it's the way I push. I don't know. I've got ink and stuff all over me. That's called getting into your craft, isn't it? And I just keep pushing down till I get almost through it, because I don't want it to stick inside the lid. And then I'm just going to peel it away. Oops. A little too much on that one, but I think I can smooth it out with my fingers. I did the other one. And then I can save this clay for maybe something will come up later where I need clay again. I'm just going to take my fingers and push this back around. Excuse me. A little sneeze there. just to keep it the right shape. And then on this one I coated it with Mod Podge because I don't know if it'll crack when it dries out. I've never used this clay before. Let me get another bottle of paint so I got something to set it on. And I'm just going to coat this one with Mod Podge as well. I'm just going to set it up here and get a little bit of, and I don't want a lot. I don't want it to ooze down the side. And I may have to do a couple of coats of the Mod Podge. We'll see how it does, but this one looks like it's got a drip on it. Yeah. And then let me cap up the Mod Podge. I gotta go wash out this brush here in a second, so let me put it inside this wet wipe so it won't dry out till I get to wash it. I bought this little set of dishes that you can find in any toy store, or I think it was like $4 or something for all of it. And I want to put the cake, make it I needed a little plate. I couldn't find any smaller sets. So I'm going to take one of the plates out. Sorry about all that crackly noise. I just want one of the plates. And see, this is what I use, so that'll be the perfect size to put the cake in there. And it'll cover up this. It says Sweet Princess or something, I don't know, but anyway, that'll cover that up. Now I'm going to put this clay in a plastic bag so it stays soft, because I may want to use it again someday. I'll save one of my labels so I know what brand it is in case I find that I like it and it doesn't crack. But I'm going to take some chocolate brown paint and kind of drizzle over the top so it looks like chocolate icing. And then I bought some little blue candles because this is going to be a boy birthday book. Alright, I will be back shortly and let this dry up and we'll see how it stacks up, see if it works. Okay, while my Mod Podge and everything is drying, I decided to make a pinwheel for the top of the box. And I have these, they're called glitter paste. One is called copper and one is called silver. And the silver one's actually more blue. And the copper one is kind of got a pinkish cast to it. But these were in one of my mystery boxes probably over a year ago. And I thought, well, you know, I've never used them. That might be a way to put a little pizzazz in the top. So I I've got it all over myself. I'm one of those people that uses my fingers for everything. You know, when I work outside in the gardens, I never wear gloves. I always get right into it. Anyway, that's why my nails always look so yuck. Because I've always got my hands in everything. I cut a 2-inch strip of the light blue Artisan. I scored it every 1/2 inch. And then I attached the two pieces together to make it 24. And then I've accordion folded it like this. We're going to make a pinwheel with it. But before I do that, I want to add some sparkle to it. So, where's a... I'll use this paintbrush handle because the blue one looks like it needs to be stirred up. It's got glitter in it. There's that one. Let's see if this one needs to be stirred a little bit. Okay. Wipe this off. I hope I'm recording. Double checking. I think I turned it off, had to turn it back on. I always have to double check myself because I can be absent-minded and think I've set the recorder and I'm chattering away and actually talking to myself because I think I've turned it on when I haven't. So I am going to just take my finger and go along the edges and add a little pizzazz here. Not a lot, just a little. It's kind of messy, but that's okay. That's what wet wipes are for. And you can use a brush if you want to, but not me. I'll just get right into it. And I'm just going to go down the whole length of this thing. Could stand a little bit right there. Missed that. Doesn't take very much. Just a little bit. And once it dries up, then we'll attach the two ends to make our pinwheel. And I figured while I'm, waiting on the other to dry, I might as well do this because it's going to take some drying time too. I'm probably getting off the camera, but it can't be helped right now. I'm a messy crafter. But that's okay. As long as I like it when I'm done, that's what matters. Or the recipient, especially whoever ends up with it. Okay, there's the blue. Get that off of my finger. Oop.
Dishes are done.
Okay, honey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's put the lid back on it. Yeah, I'll put it somewhere in a minute. Now I just want to add a little bit of pink to it, or copper. Kind of has a pinkish cast to me, but it's okay. Just here and there. Just right along the edge. I'm just basically dabbing it on there. I think that'll make it pretty when we make the pinwheel and put it on the top. It'll add.
Some of the dishes need to soak.
Okay, I'm recording, hun.
Sorry.
That's okay. There we go. Okay, let me get another wet wipe here. Okay, get all that goop off my hands as best I can. I'm going to let that set up and dry. Get these put away. And then I punched out two 1-inch circles and glued them together that I'll attach to the back to keep it, to hold its shape. And I'll show you that after it's dry, but I'm going to let it sit up there for about, I think probably at least a half hour or so. Okay, put these back up on the shelf. I get too much stuff on in my work area. Okay, and then I have one of the little buttons that came out of the bottle of buttons that came in your, and I may use that on the front, or I may pull a different color out. I'm not sure, but we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. I might want a dark blue button. Alright, I'm going to let these dry up and we'll get back together here shortly.